Welcome to RankLens. Today, we count down the top 9 most bizarre lawsuits in Hollywood history. Hollywood loves drama scripted, unscripted, and sometimes completely unhinged. We're counting down the 9 most bizarre lawsuits ever filed against entertainment's biggest names. These cases prove that sometimes reality is stranger and more frivolous than any blockbuster screenplay. From celebrities suing over cartoon babies to outrageous damage claims calculated through pure arithmetic, the legal system has seen some truly wild accusations. These aren't your typical contract disputes or intellectual property battles. No, these are the moments when famous people went to court for reasons so absurd you'd swear they were fictional. Get ready. This countdown is going to blow your mind. At number 9, we have Vandegriff's audacious attempt to weaponize the legal system against 3 A-list celebrities. Vandegriff sued Halle Berry, Amanda Bynes, and Armie Hammer, not over defamation or a contract dispute, but over something far more bizarre, forcing them to read and star in her unsolicited Civil War miniseries script. Think about that for a moment. Rather than pitch her project through normal channels, agents, producers, studios, she decided the fastest path to Hollywood stardom was to drag 3 major celebrities into court. The claim itself reveals the wild logic. Somehow, suing them would compel these A-listers to abandon their actual projects and commit to her screenplay. It's a stunning misunderstanding of both show business and the law. The stakes may have been unspecified, but the absurdity? Absolutely crystal clear. At number 8, we're entering truly unhinged territory with Ajanaffy and Njewadda's lawsuit against Showtime and the New York City Metropolitan Transit Authority. Njewadda sued them both over a single subway advertisement for the television series Dexter. His claim? The dark, violent imagery on the poster caused him nightmares, and worse, he broke his ankle after being startled by it. So the logic here is, MTA and Showtime bear legal responsibility if their advertisement scares someone so badly they literally fall and break a bone. Never mind that millions saw the poster safely every day. Never mind the impossibility of suing someone for your own accident. The damages claimed remain unspecified. Perhaps even the plaintiff realized this claim's absurdity, but that didn't stop him from filing. At number 7, a legendary civil rights activist's lawsuit against rap icons, Outkast, takes a startling turn. Rosa Parks, the woman who refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus and ignited the civil rights movement, sued the rap group Outkast and their label LaFace Records. Her claim was shocking. They'd violated her legacy with a song title that referenced the back of the bus. But here's the kicker. The song never actually mentioned Rosa Parks by name. It was using back of the bus purely as an industry metaphor, a cultural reference point. The case ultimately settled for an undisclosed amount, but the broader principle was baffling to many observers. Parks had transformed back of the bus into a symbol of injustice, but suing over its metaphorical use felt like weaponizing her own legacy. At number 6, meet Andy Stone, performing as Vance, and his stunning $20 million lawsuit against Mariah Carey. His accusation, "Half of All I Want for Christmas Is You," the most streamed Christmas song in history, was plagiarized from his work. Think about that claim. He wasn't just suing for damages, he was implying he deserved 50% of one of the biggest earners in music history. The court's response? Judges didn't just dismiss the case, they called his lawyer's conduct egregious. The word egregious in a legal ruling is basically a way of saying, we're not just throwing this out, we're publicly shaming you for wasting everyone's time. Mariah's Christmas classic remained untouched, her billions in streaming revenue secure. Sometimes, the holidays bring joy. Sometimes, they bring lawsuits destined for dismissal. At number 5, we meet Spencer Elden, forever known as the baby on Nirvana's iconic Nevermind album cover. now suing the band for $150,000. His claim is jaw-dropping. The photo, taken when he was an infant, constituted child pornography. Here's where it gets even more absurd. Over the years, Spencer had willingly and repeatedly recreated that famous photograph for money. He'd posed for the camera, capitalized on his childhood fame, and profited from his viral status. Yet now, decades later, he claimed the original shot was exploitation. The irony is staggering. A man who built his public identity around being the Nevermind baby is suing the very people who made him famous. You can't monetize your moment and then litigate against it. At number 4, actress Lindsay Lohan sued the financial brokerage E! For a $100 million claim that sounds ripped from a satirical comedy. Her lawsuit targeted a Super Bowl advertisement featuring a cartoon talking baby character. The baby's name? Lindsay? Her argument, a trade, had stolen her single-name celebrity identity, because apparently being named Lindsay entitles you to damages from any corporation using that name in advertising. Think about the precedent this would set. Every John, Sarah, or Mike on Earth could sue every company using their name in any context. Courts recognized this absurdity instantly. The case went nowhere. A reminder that celebrity status doesn't grant monopoly rights over common names, no matter how famous you are. At number 3, Isabella Tanikumi demanded Disney pay her $250 million because, like the character Elsa in Frozen, she once had a sister with differently colored hair. Yes, you read that correctly. Her legal claim was based on a biological fact she shared with a fictional character. Tanikumi argued that the film's plot, featuring two sisters, where one possessed magical powers and they had different hair colors, so closely mirrored her own life that Disney must have stolen her story. Never mind that two sisters with different appearances is perhaps the least original premise in storytelling. Never mind that millions of families have siblings with different physical traits. Disney's lawyers didn't even need to break a sweat. The case collapsed under the weight of its own illogic. At number 2, we have Sophia Stewart's absolutely audacious claim. She invented both The Matrix and The Terminator. Her evidence? A short story she mailed to the filmmakers. A mailed short story. Stewart demanded over $1 billion in damages, claiming the Wachowskis, James Cameron, and Warner Brothers stolen her intellectual property. The legal community watched in disbelief. Not only were her claims extraordinarily thin, but Stewart never even showed up in court to defend her allegations. She simply filed the lawsuit, made her accusations from afar, and vanished. Without her presence, the case crumbled. Judges couldn't take seriously accusations made by someone who refused to stand behind them in person. The billion-dollar fantasy remained just that, a fantasy. At number 1, the most mathematically absurd lawsuit ever. Heckard's $832 million claim against Michael Jordan and Nike founder Phil Knight. His reasoning? He resembled Michael Jordan. That's it. That was his entire legal theory. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. Rather than simply claiming emotional distress or lost opportunities, Heckard actually calculated his damages using literal mathematics. He multiplied Michael Jordan's age by 7. Think about that methodology. No precedent in law supports this calculation. It's not based on lost wages, proven harm, or any recognizable damage model. It's just age times 7, which happened to equal $832 million. The lawsuit revealed the legal system's ultimate absurdity check. Even frivolous cases have limits. This one hit that ceiling hard. Jordan and Knight faced no real jeopardy. But the case stands as the perfect example of how far some people will stretch logic to sue a celebrity. These 9 lawsuits reveal something profound about celebrity culture and the legal system. When fame reaches a certain level, everyone has a story about being wronged, and some believe the courts will listen. They won't. These cases show why we have filters, judges, standards of evidence, and basic logic. They also expose how Americans weaponize litigation, treating courts as personal revenge machines rather than places of genuine justice. Finally, they remind us that absurdity has limits. Even in a system designed to hear grievances, some claims are too thin to survive. Hollywood's real drama belongs on screen, not in court. And that's the top 9 most bizarre lawsuits in Hollywood history. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to RankLens for more.